GameDay.com/NFL to make a donation for the relief efforts. Cowboys center Joe Looney made a special visit to a local elementary school as part of the team's healthy eating program, Fuel Up to Play 60. Looney ate breakfast with the students, then led them through an obstacle course, got students pumped up about healthy eating and physical activity.
Quarterback draw. Prescott up the middle, bangs over the goal line. Touchdown.
Pressure. He's going to get sacked.
Eric Armstead just powers the left tackle.
Throwing right for the end zone. Henry caught. Touchdown. Chargers.
Pressure coming. And he's sacked. Another sack by Shaq Barrett.
It's a deep shot. Intercepted. Anthony Harris. Well done. Henry trying to turn it up. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Locked up!
Folks, I'd like you to lay your eyes on a list of names that are about to hit the Mega Millions jackpot. These are the top 10 best defensive free agents available, according to NFL.com. Go to the website to see the full list of offensive and defensive players. Jadeveon Clowney leading the way at number 1, the former number 1 overall pick. With more, here are Willie and MJD.
Well, thanks, Scott. Willie, we saw these great names, right? Yep. I mean, there's so many guys. Who are you picking to kind of highlight in this free agency class for defensive players?
Well, I've been talking DNs and linebackers and all that, but I want to go to the strong safety, free safety position. Anthony Harris with the Minnesota Vikings. You talk about a guy who's a ball hawk. He has range. He has great skills. He's not afraid to get dirty up in the box. And when you look at what he does, he can affect the play from a lot of different ways. Here he is on the opposite hash. This is too deep. He's turned already, thinking the ball's coming this way. Reads Phillip Rivers right now, knows the ball's going the other way. Look at the range, MJD.
I see it.
Gets across, gets the interception, puts the game away, take a knee. Here he is in the box. He's going against the tight end. That's Hunter Henry. Goes up, 2 gaps, extension, comes off, makes the tackle. Not a lot of guys willing at the safety position to come in the box and play it. Here he is again, getting physical, delivering the blow against Devontae Adams. Delivers the blow, gets off, makes the tackle. So when you got a guy that's willing to play in the run game, that has a lot of range, great ball skills, that can make a lot of plays, he's going to be up for a lot of dough.
He's definitely going to make some bread. I mean, come on, I need a little bit more from Devontae Adams. You just can't be out here catching touchdowns all the time. You got to help in the running game a little bit, right?
But there's some running backs. There's a lot of notable running backs also in free agency. So when you look at the list, Derrick Henry, I would say, is at the top of the list. Melvin Gordon, Kenyon Drake, Carlos Hyde. There are a lot of guys that are in free agency. So since you were a beast at the running back position,
I appreciate that.
Please give us your top 5 list of free agents.
Yeah, I got you. Well, look, first of all, I was kind of torn at 5 between Frank Gore and Carlos Hyde, and I'm going to give it to Frank Gore, and I'm going to tell you why.
At number 5.
At number 5. So Frank Gore is going to be here because, Willie, we both know this. You need a coach and a player on the field at all times. And Frank Gore was that in Buffalo. One of the reasons I felt like Buffalo was successful because they ran the ball well. He came in and he did his part, but he also coached up Singletary as well and made him better. So you need coaches all around. That's why I have Frank Gore.
And he's still productive.
Yep. All right, number 4, I'm going to go with Jordan Howard. And I know he didn't have the best year in Philadelphia. He was a little banged up, but you got to go back and watch him when he was in Chicago, when he got utilized the right way. Matter of fact, go back to this tape against the Packers. When he got utilized the right way, he dominated the game. You know, and so, again, he is a bigger back, and we saw what Derrick Henry did late in the season. Right. Teams want to run the ball late in the season. If you can run the ball with big backs, especially young guys that want to make plays, you can do that.
And he's a downhill runner.
And that's what you want. Number 3, we're going to go with the versatile Kenyon Drake. Right there.
Kenyon Drake.
I was shocked that the Miami Dolphins traded him to the Cardinals, that the Cardinals wanted him. But once he got there,
perfect fit.
He showed what he was supposed to be. Now, I don't know why he's on this list because he should have been locked up a long time ago. But, again, when the Cardinals got hot late in the year, they ran the ball, they got him the ball, and he made things happen. He actually had them put David Johnson, one of the top backs in the league a couple years ago, on the bench. All right, number 2.
I don't think he gets out of Arizona.
I hope not. Melvin Gordon. We're going to go with Melvin Gordon here.
Yep.
And this is the thing. I told people a long time ago when Melvin Gordon, come here. Don't. I told people a long time ago when Melvin Gordon, hold on, Scott, this is serious. This is serious. When Melvin Gordon held out that if the Chargers didn't sign him or bring him in camp, it wasn't going to be a good season. And it wasn't. And so he needs to go somewhere he's going to be utilized his skill. Now you can roll the B-roll. Show the tape, because this is what he's going to give you. He is a guy that is going to score touchdowns. He's going to make guys miss. He's a big guy, and he catches the ball out of the backfield. You need to find a place that wants to utilize his talents because he's a very talented running back, and he needs to get paid for his services.
Let's just keep him with the Chargers.
Nah, I think that's over with. That bridge might have been
Two-headed
burned.
monster, him and Eckler.
Okay, so look, you were right, Willie. We're going to say Derrick Henry's number one, but I'm going to tell you why.
Of course he is. Come on now.
At the Combine, you're going to talk to all these different type of coaches. And I talked to a couple coaches and personnel people at the Tennessee Titans. And it was crazy. Because all they told me was, look, our whole offense was turn around, Derrick Henry right, Derrick Henry left. Why is he still out here? What is going on? This man is unstoppable. He rushes for 1,000 yards in November and December every year. It's unbelievable. And then, this is the best part about it. Where's it? You can bring it back to me and Willie, because I want people to see Willie's face. Yeah,
okay.
Put Willie in this. Okay, real quick. Listen,
it.
have you ever seen a team run the ball in the 2-minute drill in the playoffs?
No.
They did it against your Patriots. It was unbelievable.
I knew that's why you wanted to bring me in. You know what? This was a great segment. There's some great notable running backs in the free agency, and we're going to get away from you, and we're going to Scott. Thank you.
When you weigh 290 pounds, you're not supposed to run a 4.9 40.
Oh, he got out.
And yet that's exactly what Ross Blacklock did.
I'm going to give him the 4.8.
And when you're still a prospect, highly rated but not yet drafted, you're not supposed to answer this question.
There's one quarterback in the NFL you have to take down.
And yet that's exactly what Ross Blacklock is about to do.
Of course. I was going to say you can't say
next.
March 15th, free agency frenzy begins.
Is in for the touchdown.
Boom! And NFL Network is there, reporting on live breaking news.
He can bring that magic with him.
League-wide rumors.
This could be a key addition.
And every blockbuster deal.
This guy's a game record. He's a winner.
Oh, my goodness. That's big time there.
Free agency frenzy starts Sunday, March 15th, only on NFL Network.
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Success begins with certainty, knowing for certain your logo will look perfect. At 4imprint, it'll be right the first time, on time, every time, guaranteed. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Uh-oh, there you go. Slow slicing fruits, veggies, and those stinky onions that bring you to tears. But not anymore. Introducing NutriChopper, the compact handheld speed slicer that cuts up to 10 times quicker than a knife. Watch. You can have one slice or 10 perfect slices at once. Amazing! You can just julienne, or you can bundle slice julienne sticks at lightning speed. With NutriChopper, you can slice the entire onion or mince a mound of onions and never have time for tears. Why slice a single apple wedge when you can wedge it all in one snap? NutriChopper comes with the razor-sharp interchangeable stainless steel blades you need to make all of the cuts you want, and all incredibly quick. Chop thick slices, chop thin slices, chop cubes, chop sticks, and wedge whole fruits and vegetables in just 1 second. Slice it and cook it right in the pan, right on your stove. Chop and slice right into the pot for a family-sized stew with no mess. Snap and slice a fruit salad for the kids right into the bowl in seconds. Slice up a healthy salad for a quick and easy meal on the go. Cube meats and cheeses quick, in a snap. And NutriChopper comes with a perfect portion container and fresh-keeping lid so you can slice it, seal it, and store it all in one. To clean, simply rinse or rack it in the dishwasher. Then lock it to store it safely in a drawer. And now the NutriChopper with the thin slice, thick slice, wedge, and cube blades, and the slice and store container and lid, a value of over $40, is yours for just $19.99. But wait! Order now and we'll even pay the shipping for you. You get the complete NutriChopper set with blades and container with lids, all for just $19.99 with free shipping. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-408-6920 or go online at NutriChopper.com. That's 1-800-408-6920 or go to NutriChopper.com. Order now.
The Kansas City Chiefs are Super Bowl champs. Gear up with the official trophy collection, available now at NFLShop.com. Don't miss out. Shop now at NFLShop.com.
This is the top 20 player in the draft in Blacklock.
And Stanley sacked, but
TCU, Ross Blacklock. Ross Blacklock, the first one to get there. He's made several plays already here this afternoon.
Ross Blacklock, the difference maker.
I'm nominating myself to be president of the Ross Blacklock fan club, and I got a text that said, "You're too late."
Well, if your favorite NFL team needs help up the middle on defense, here are the guys you want to target. Bucky Brooks, top 5 defensive tackles. Derek Brown, we've heard about him from Auburn. Javon Kinlaw, Jordan Elliott, Missouri product, and our special guest here on NFL Total Access, potential first-round pick, TCU defensive tackle, Ross Blacklock. Ross, welcome to the NFL Total Access episode that you make your NFL debut on here. You just got back from Indy. How was the combine experience?
Man, it was great.
Yeah?
Just being out there, showcasing your talents to all 32 teams and, training, all of it has a meaning and a purpose. Go out, run a good 40, position drills, all that, and just being around the best competition in the country. It was real fun.
Favorite thing to do in Indy, or the best thing that you feel you did, and then the thing that you were like, I'm glad that's over?
Favorite thing was probably, position work and stuff like that. You said least favorite thing?
Yeah, it's the thing you're glad. I only had to do that once, and I'm glad I'm done with that.
That psych test. that medical, anything that had to do with football, it was just kind of just draining. But, you got to go through it.
Got to go through it?
Be like, you look good out there, man. You was a beast on the drills. I watched you. You lost almost 30 pounds to get ready for this. How excited were you to compete against your peers and the guys that, you played against during the season?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, coming in freshman year, I was 330.
Jeez.
Yeah, redshirt sophomore year, played at 326, 325. Junior year, that's when I got hurt. Lost, I was about 310, and then this year I played at 290. So I've been going up and down. But, just losing that weight, I feel more lighter. And just being able to do drills better and more quicker.
Man, I got to ask you, your favorite defensive tackle that you watch that's playing in the NFL now?
I say Aaron Donald. Yeah. Love the way he plays. Love the way he.
The best.
He different breed. Like, but I try to mirror my game after him. I watch a lot of his moves, pass rush moves, and, just the stuff that he goes through on a weekly basis. So,
okay.
I got a
people say I look like him because the beard, too.
I was going to say, you're not far off.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, not far off.
I'll be junior.
When you're out in Los Angeles, meant to sign some autographs, put 99 down there, something like that.
Yeah.
A little personal question for you. You grew up in and around the world of athletics and entertainment, for that matter. Your father was a Harlem Globetrotter and then coaches the Harlem Globetrotters.
That is
what
true.
was that like, and what, if anything, are you drawing on your NFL future from his showmanship past?
Yeah, he played for him 15 years, coached for him. He had a little afro and sliding around the court and stuff like that. But growing up, I kind of got the back end of it. So whenever he stopped coaching.
Okay.
Like, my mom was pregnant with me, so he stopped coaching, so he can't travel around and stuff like that. But growing up, when I was like around age 16, 17, he picked it back up. This is like his 7th, 8th year, I think, coming back. But it was more fun watching it growing up, though,
Sure.
like when I got older. Because, when you're young, of course it's fun. But kind of now that I'm older and I actually get to watch him coach and, like, see the things that he's doing, it's pretty funny. So
I gotta ask all the defenders, especially guys that play in the trenches, if there's one quarterback in the NFL you have to take down, who is it?
Ooh, I'll say, he hard. I'm going to say Tom.
Well,
of course.
I was going to say, you can't say Tom.
Wow.
Anybody but, because that's my guy.
All right, my bad, Tom.
Give me somebody else.
But wait a minute. Did you ever?
I'm going to still get you, though. I'm going to still get you. It's not right now.
The ball's coming out quick, so you better be off the ball.
Yeah, y'all better throw a fade or something. I'm going to get there.
Drew Brees is coming back, assuming you don't end up on the Saints roster.
I like Drew, though.
Okay, well,
but
you get to say hi to him when you sack him.
I'm going to get Drew, too.
You're supposed to like everybody, but you just...
I'm going to say Kyler, only because I didn't get to play.
There you go.
Kyler Murray. Him or Dwayne Haskins because I missed that Ohio State game.
There you go.
So
we got 2 guys. We're taking Tom off the list.
Coming to an NFL field near you, potential first-round pick, Ross Blacklock. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
It's Friday Night Lights. The guys around here, we're going to see some speed, some burners.
I got a text from a coach saying they shouldn't just call it the Deuce Staley drill. It should be the Deuce Staley /Cam Akers drill.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. compact runner with vision and unbelievable contact balance. I mean, you just see him run through people.
DeAndre Swift,
Georgia. He's my top running back here. He's got some D'Angelo Williams to him. Nice catch by Jonathan Taylor. Home run hitter on tape.
He's been catching the ball well all day. They should all be in the top 10. That's how you win championships. We know that. RBs.
Just to keep it real, just to keep it 100, as they say, some have called the running back position a marginalized position. This man's not one of them. MJD, which running backs impressed you in Indianapolis?
Well, first of all, they put us on Friday night, and there's no night without an R&B that you wouldn't like. So, okay, first of all, we saw Cam Akers, and I think Cam Akers doesn't get enough respect when you watch his tape come out of Florida State. He was a 5-star high school athlete. He came out here and dominated the combine. Every drill, he was one of the top guys to go. When you watch him put his foot in the ground here, cut, quickness. I mean, the coach was trying to make moves. We saw the coach almost get run over a couple times. This new drill, he did an amazing job with it. Everything just was smooth, and that's what you want. Next, I'm going to go with my fellow Bruin, Joshua Kelly, who actually surprised me. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think he was going to run a 4.5 or 4.49 as we see here. 23 on the bench. But again, in the drills, he was smooth, and you saw that on tape. You saw when he was running the ball, he has the ability and the skill to do it. And then he did it, obviously, at the Senior Bowl as well, and he caught the ball extremely well. So he did a great job. And obviously, we talked about him earlier, but Jonathan Taylor, anytime you have a guy that's 230 pounds run a 4.3, I mean, that's a phenomenal workout with all the other things that he was able to do. But then in the drills, again, he was so smooth. You see him here. That's my baby, Kevin Davison, handling the ball. That was one of the guys I coached in high school.
Okay,
shout out.
Yeah,
but he was so smooth to be that fast, that big. You can see his agility here, jump cuts, making guys miss. I mean, you saw that on tape as well. So those three guys definitely did a great job at the NFL Combine. There's a lot of other guys as well.
And just real quick, on the new Deuce Staley drill, they called it the Deuce Staley drill. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'd have probably messed it all up. So I'm glad he got it in after I was done.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of movement going back and forth, but those young guys handled it well.
You could just commentate it. Thank you very much, MJD. Well, we are pressing our way towards the NFL draft, and we're going to start with a special Pro Day special a week from tonight, March 12th. Several big key pro days across campuses. We're going to recap all of them for you. Free agency frenzy begins March 15th. That's the open negotiating period. And then it's the NFL draft presented by Verizon live from Las Vegas. The 3-day spectacular starting April 23rd. Every pick seen right here on NFL Network. Well, a recent study revealed that 47% of NFL viewers are women. And we don't refer to them as female fans. We just call them fans. After the break, why 2 female coaches in Tampa Bay have one request. Just call me Coach.
This right here is the new papadilla, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Latin for better than a sandwich. Even has a better pickle. Get a new papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
I want to use my platform to speak out for people who can't speak out for themselves. Whether it was criminal justice reform, education disparity, police community engagement, it's like, let me do my part. It started with this bill to restore voting rights.
Players from the Saints helped that law get passed because they got involved.
When an athlete steps up, people listen.
It's the power of collaboration. That's how we create change.
Atkins peanut butter cups are my favorite, but I always want one more. You? Yes, Hannah. The answer is yes. Chocolate, peanut butter, and 0 sugar. We can have one more. Well, wait, this is a good one. Can I suggest Atkins make a peppermint patty? It's my favorite candy, but would love a low-carb version. I am with you on the whole peppermint patty thing, Amelia, and it looks like someone at Atkins is thinking just like we are. So let's enjoy.
I really wanted to see how I could help the inequality in our education system. The name of this book is David Goes to School.
One of the first things he did was send our kids to a writing workshop. He actually went there with them, and that makes a big difference.
I'm proud of what he's doing in the community that he loves.
It's extreme pride to represent where you're from and make people proud.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All this week, we're replaying every episode of the NFL 100 All-Time Team.
You had a way of making people think they were open just to set the trap.
It's hard to get there, and it's so hard to win it.
Ray, you're one of the most complete players that ever played the game.
Just this big, enormous guy that is unstoppable.
All of these great wide receivers, they didn't do it the way he do. Be in the company of these men.
Speed freaks do everything, all at once, whenever they want. Speed freaks don't worry about too many devices, because speed freaks get all the speed they'll ever need. Speed freaks have gig service internet for just $74.99 a month, plus taxes and fees, and no annual commitment. Frontier, let us guide the speed freak in you.
On police community relations, education and economic advancement, and criminal justice reform. The best way to inspire change is to be it.
The NFL season is 17 weeks, 32 teams, 256 games, plus preseason and playoffs. That's over 50,000 plays. Like this one, each generating thousands of data points that can help the NFL understand player health and safety like never before. With Amazon Web Services technology, we'll simulate in-game scenarios millions of times to pinpoint where and how we can advance player safety. And that's building a better game.
On this episode of NFL 360, from the press box,
this proposal was written for Hannah Storm and Andrea Kramer.
To the practice field.
I don't want there to be a distinction where you have to say she's a woman coach.
From the head of security.
There are not limitations for where you can work because of your gender.
To the huddle itself.
No matter what they said or what they did, it wasn't going to stop me.
It's a new era for women in football on a special episode of NFL 360.
I surrender for no one. I'm gonna shatter these dreams.
Well, Tampa Bay's Bruce Arians knows what it means to make the most of a long overdue opportunity. After all, he didn't get his first head coaching shot until he was 60 years old. So it's perhaps not surprising that on his staff includes a pair of coaches making the most of their own shot and who stand out on the field in more ways than one.
I just happened to be at the Combine. I spoke at the Women's Symposium, and I said, I'm thinking I'm going to hire a full-time female intern. I went home, and my wife got all over me. Oh, yeah, you're going to hire another girl, give her 1 year, then kick her out. If she's qualified, hire her full-time. I said, you're right. So I went to our organization. I said, I'd like to hire two, and we found the two perfect fit.
Maral Javadi Farr, assistant strength and conditioning coach, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Lo Locust, assistant D-line coach, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What I learned in that conversation was that his core value was also about hiring the best, regardless of who you are or what you look like. And that is perfectly aligned with our core values at the Buccaneers.
That's like 7 seconds, dude. 2 seconds on the way down.
I asked Coach Arians if he would be okay with me going a different route, trying to bring somebody with a physical therapy background in that has a performance-based mindset.
Her PT degree and being an athlete, her qualifications were off the charts.
I remember looking around and being nervous like any first job, but they all made me feel like I belonged there, and so did the rest of the coaching staff and the players.
Let's go. That shit ain't gonna work.
They met Joe Pendry, who was the general manager of the Birmingham Iron. He said, I've got a defensive line coach. If you're serious, she's really good and ready for it. And it just happened to be Lori.
You have to follow a career path just like any other industry. There's a level of commitment that you have to have, and you have to know you're not going to get paid. You have to know that it's going to be sweaty and dirty and grimy, and you have to be okay with all of that. I had to work harder, and I had to work longer because I knew that it was going to be harder for me to prove myself. It's not like it's a given for guys, but I think the path is a lot clearer.
Gender, race, it doesn't matter. If you can teach, you can coach. Those doors should be open.
Go, 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 go. Nickel, nickel, nickel.
get the yes ma'ams and no ma'ams and things like that. And I know they're trying to be respectful, but when I get those players to a part now where they're just calling me coach, you're not looking at gender. You're looking at somebody in front of you that can help you, and that's what I work towards.
When you go to an athlete and show them that you can share knowledge with them that's going to make them better and they trust in that process, they're going to buy in.
Her background in sports medicine has been amazing. Knowing that she can approach things from a different perspective than a normal strength coach. She really understands the broad spectrum of how we as professional athletes need to be developed and need to be worked on.
Hey, I don't want you overextending at your back. Keep your core tight there, got it?
I don't want there to be a distinction where you have to say, she's a woman coach. All we're trying to do is what every other assistant coach is doing in the league, and that's contribute.
It doesn't matter to her that we 1.5 feet bigger than her, over 200 pounds heavier than her. She's coming at you as if she's the same size and stature, and I like that confidence within the coach because most players model what they see from their coaches every day.
The fact that our organization is ahead of the curve in terms of being inclusive with just trying to get more women involved in football, I think that's awesome.
They have changed the perception in that when young girls look at them, they know that this is possible. The message is, you belong here. This is a place for you.
As long as you can do your job at the level that the organization needs you to do it at, gender, race, ethnicity, none of that should matter.
People don't know who I am. They don't know who MJ is. They kind of like, you know, it's a woman thing, but it's really not. This is so much hard work and so much dedication to being the best and being considered just like any other assistant coach would be.
She comes to work and she does her job. Man or woman, I really don't see it. That's she coach.
Well done, coaches. Well, we watched Tony Romo go from Pro Bowl quarterback to Pro Bowl commentator. And now Peyton Manning is rumored to possibly be next. After the break on NFL Total Access, what other NFL stars have what it takes to be the man on the mic?
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight.
If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
I was in, y'all situation. My sophomore year, I got arrested. We have kids feeling like they need to commit crimes because their house is not stable, no support system. So what you supposed to do? Everything can change, man. You gotta show somebody that you really care, that you trying to change. I started this foundation to help you reach your goals, no matter if we have to dish out 100 school books, 100 book bags. Tough times don't last, tough people do.
With over 75 years of savings and service, Geico is the easy choice. We can even help you with homeowners. Oh, not again. Oh, thanks.
Automated lights are just the beginning. Pretty soon they're going to have eyes everywhere. Well, good night.
Geico, over 75 years of savings and service.
I want to use my platform to speak out for people who can't speak out for themselves. Whether it was criminal justice reform, education disparity, police community engagement, it's like, let me do my part. It started with this bill to restore voting rights.
Players from the Saints helped that law get passed because they got involved.
When an athlete steps up, people listen.
It's the power of collaboration. That's how we create change.
Delivery, video, music, and more. With Prime.
I watch it pretty much every day. I love the crew.
Nate, Kay, Kyle Brandt, Shregs, those guys know exactly what they're talking about.
Fun is lit, and always talk about the current things that's going on.
This is an MVP. This is the guy who changed the game.
He's been an absolute leader.
Every time I watch a show, though, it's always good laughs.
Spend some time with you guys, it's always fun.
Good Morning Football is a part of my routine.
They might be the team no one wants to play.
I've never seen anything like it.
Keeps you engaged and keeps you right where you need to be.
On a special NFL 360, we celebrate Women's History Month with a look at 6 individuals who helped pave the way for women in football, on and off the field.
We understood what it was like to forge a career with nobody having done it before us. I don't want there to be a distinction where you have to say, she's a woman coach.
When you're trying to take us to the next level, there's a totally different mentality. No matter what they said or what they did, it wasn't going to stop me.
NFL 360, Sunday at 9, only on NFL Network.
The only way we gonna get what we want to get is everybody be held accountable. Get your damn job done today. Get it done. We in this game. Damn it, we in this game. What I do? Make plays. Nothing but make plays, baby.
Let's throw the checks. We'll throw them into any coverage. Let's throw them. I'll go get it. I'll go get it.
Aikman straight drop, sets deep ball, left side, wants it all. It's caught at the 5, and it's in for the touchdown. And who do you think it is? Michael Irvin.
Oh, this time it's birthday boy Michael Irvin as we begin the social blitz here. Happy 54th birthday, Mike.
Where's the invite to the party, Irv?
Well, look at this. So Gil Brandt tweeted out on Twitter there, happy 54th birthday, Michael Irvin. You were my last #1 pick, but you ended up the same place as my first, the Hall of Fame. Bob Lilly was Gil Brandt's first pick. Nice seeing you at the Combine. And all. Michael's still wearing the same shirts he wore when he was 14 years old. So 54th birthday. Keeping on with NFL media stuff, Run Rich Run, a massive success. Jerry Rice acknowledged it, approaching $1 million raised for St. Jude. It's an honor to be a part of hashtag Run Rich Run. Rich, great job if you're watching right now. Of course, another year. And then Andrew Marchand, the excellent sports television writer for the New York Post, he's got a scoop here. He thinks ESPN is trying to acquire Al Michaels in a trade from NBC and pair him with Peyton Manning in the Monday Night Football booth. It's not a done deal. He's just saying he's hearing that's what they want. What NFL player would you like to see in the broadcast booth?
Probably our guy Filthy. Philip Rivers.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Never Filthy. Be a loss for word. Philip would just go on and on and on.
And you never have to put him on a 7-second delay either. Never
you know what? He has a lot of charisma, and he's just a good dude. He loves ball. He knows game.
We'll never trade you, Scott.
My man, Willie McGinnis.
I'm the opposite.
Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are here live in New York City. It is Friday, March 6th. I am Nate Burleson, alongside King of the Khakis, Kyle Brandt, and the Queen of everything football, Kim Jones.
Wow,
What's up,
that's
kids?
a big responsibility.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Are you?
This is our favorite Jones right here.
That's
you can
right.
have your Catherine Zeta, your Tommy Lee, your James Earl. We go Kim Jones.
That's what I'm talking
Let's go.
about.
You ready to rock?
You're unbelievable on an everyday basis. I love it.
Back at you, Kim. And guess, you want an unbelievable? We have a great show and an awesome guest today. How about this? Titans head coach and noted FaceTimer Mike Vrabel is coming on the show. He's going to talk about the playoff run. Plus, Coach Tannehill, Derrick Henry, free agency. What are you guys going to do down there? Mike Vrabel, a great guest this morning. We'll talk to Braves.
That's right.
And it's finally going to happen. After 4 years, we're going to fight Nate. We're going to fight him right here on set. Nate, you've been asking for it. You're going to give us your top 5 potential free agents. Where's Amari fit in that top 5? Where's Brady? Where's Dak? Where's all of them? It's called Fight My 5. Nate, get ready to unload. You good to go?
Get your Twitter fingers ready.
Loosen them up now. And the top NFL prospects, they're heading to Las Vegas, Nevada next month. We're going to get you ready for the spectacle. If Joe Burrow was in his own one-man show in Vegas, what would it be called? Who would be sitting front row? And does Tua go? That's all today on today's show, Friday, Kim.
But you know what it's time for right now?
Lead block!
Let's start in New Orleans, where earlier this offseason, we were all eagerly awaiting a decision from Drew Brees on whether or not he would be returning to play in 2020. Well, in February, Brees took to social media. If you look very closely, a tiny Drew Brees is pictured embracing the journey ahead of him, the 2020 NFL season. Yesterday, Brees reiterated his excitement to play in the Big Easy for another year.
I have no intention of going anywhere. I don't care what the offer would be or what the situation might be. I'm Who Dat Nation for life, and so as long as they'll have me and as long as I want to play, that's where I'll be.
So Drew Brees wants to be a Saint for life. We all want to be Saints for life.
Absolutely.
But here are some notable free agents they have to pay in the next 2 years. You can see that list right there. And just a reminder, when Brees signed his last contract, he was among the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. So guys, how do they keep Brees in New Orleans for life and give him that surrounding cast that he needs to have a complete team?
I felt like Jameis Winston from last year trying to find Brees in that picture. Squinting my eyes. But here's the thing. You know, speaking of having vision, it seems like the Saints have very clear vision. They have 2020 vision in 2020. They want to bring Drew Brees back. The question for me is, what's going to happen after that? What's your vision for the future?
Okay.
I get it. Right now, Drew Brees will be the guy who's going to ride off into the sunset. But who is the backup going to be? There's so many questions surrounding this team. They made the right decision. Drew Brees should retire a Saint. He is a legend. He brought that city back after they had a horrific incident that was a natural disaster heard around the world. And Drew Brees was one of the guys that is a pillar in that community.
Yep.
Now, what do you do after Drew Brees is done? Because as much as we can appreciate him fighting off Father Time, that can't happen forever, Kyle.
No, and especially when Teddy Bridgewater's probably going to go. Look, we don't know for sure, but he seems to be in demand in a big quarterback class, and he seems to be ready, and he wins last year. I just, you know, and what Drew said right there, there's something that popped out for me, and he says not only that he wants to be a Saint for life, he said, I don't care what the offer would be. I mean, that's a big quote right there from a guy who's made a lot of money year after year and who might have another title or two if he didn't make so much money. So it's very big on him being like, look, I'm coming back. I want to win one of these no matter what we got to do. It's an interesting thing with these Saints because right now they're on the heels of 3 backbreaking, I mean, biblically devastating season finales to end the year. And I really do think that this Saints regime not winning a Super Bowl, or not even getting to one, would be one of the most disappointing chapters we've seen with all the with that coach, with that dome, with that quarterback, to not even get back. You know, you look at like the Buffalo Bills, who never did it. They ran into some
4 Super Bowls.
4 straight. Right. But like they ran into some juggernaut Cowboys teams. If you look at those 90s Knicks, they couldn't beat Jordan. It's understandable. These guys are losing to Kirk Cousins. Right. They're losing to Jared Goff. It's a grab bag.
And in some cases at home.
At home, like in multiple cases at home. So what I'm saying is, Drew Brees is #unfinished business. And speaking of business, if he says, I don't care what the offer is, I think the Saints front office lights up. I think Teddy's gone, though. Right. So it's Drew, and then it's the great Taysom experience. They got to make this right. Disappointing chapter otherwise.
And Taysom Hill, though, says he wants to play and said he might have to leave to do that. So you could be talking about different depth completely behind Drew Brees if he makes good on that, unless somehow there's an idea that he gets more time and that can make him feel better. I don't know if it would, Nate, but maybe the promise of more time.
Yeah, and Taysom Hill wants to go somewhere to play quarterback because the money is different when you're a starting quarterback or even a backup quarterback. There's quarterbacks making anywhere from $5 to $10 million as a backup. But look at this pass. I mean, he is a beautiful creature of a man that plays the quarterback and every other position on the field.
It's one of the great mysteries in our league right now.
It really is.
There's no one looking to bring in Taysom Hill to be the starter right now, but unless Sean Payton's got plans for the future.
Kyle, I want to get back to something you said, though, because you make a great point when bringing up the Buffalo Bills. You know, you mentioned the comparison. And, yeah, being a Buffalo Bills fan, getting to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing is very disappointing. But as a guy who played 11 years and never sniffed the Super Bowl, the fact that the Buffalo Bills got there, it's kind of like you can hang your hat on that. Like, we were that good. We were one of the 2 teams that made it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. When it comes to the Saints, like, they haven't even got to the Super Bowl.
They lost no wild card round.
That's what I'm saying. So it's even worse. It's like an unfulfilled destiny of biblical proportions, especially when you consider the talent level that they had. And you know what? Another question is, I know we're talking about Drew Brees, but it's not just on Drew Brees' shoulders because Drew Brees had some games last year where you're like, he is nowhere near retiring. I'm questioning what's happening with the running game because when Mark Ingram left, it seemed like Kamara was sitting there like Will Smith in the living room during the last episode. Like, where did everybody go?
Where's the furniture?
The Fresh Prince is like, yo, I need Carlton. I need Jeffrey. I need Uncle Phil.
He gone.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But I feel like Kamara is going to need somebody that it could be his running mate. And listen, Latavius did a great job in filling in that space. But Mark Ingram, it's like once he left, he almost took the identity, the toughness with the team. And he injected it right on the Ravens.
That's a great point. Did you see Mark Ingram on our combine coverage?
Oh, yeah.
He is an electric personality that guys would be gravitating toward. There's no doubt about that. I absolutely love that point, and I wouldn't have made it. That's a great point.
Yeah. It's also, as it pertains to losing Ingram, and year after year after year, I feel like each year for the Saints is like, all right, we had the heartbreak. Now this is the year.
Right.
It is really hard to stay afloat year after year, no matter what. I mean, the coaching has to be amazing. The other teams get better. The other teams rise up. Eventually, you fall off. I thought last year, I had the Saints at 8-8 last year. No insult to them. They're talented as hell. It's hard to stay afloat that long.
Yeah.
And you wonder, can they do it again now? How good does Sean Payton have to be as a motivator to be like, guys, one more time, let's pull ourselves up off the mat because this is terrible. I just wonder how long can you sustain it, even if Brees comes back.
And I don't wonder with Sean Payton that he can motivate his guys to get where they've been. It's now getting to that next step. And I think, with the Ingram issue, he's not coming back, obviously. In this draft, can they get a running back who can complement Kamara?
Yeah.
We know with running backs, they can have that instant impact. They can be that change of pace if that's what you need.
Yeah, and Sean Payton has tried everything. He's tried brooms. He's withdrew money out of the
money, right?
Straight cash.
Yeah, masks.
He's done masks. He's done the humble approach. It's going to be tough. But, when talking to Cam Jordan, he's come on this show plenty of times. He said that, look, man, if you're looking at what we've been through, that is the ultimate motivation for us to get back. But, guys, it takes a lot of punches and a lot of dusting off for you to figure out who you are. I don't understand why these guys haven't fulfilled exactly what the expectations are.
It's been a huge disappointment, 100%. That's why we come full circle now. This has been a period of record-breaking for the Saints. It's been Rookie of the Year on both sides of the ball.
You're right.
Michael Thomas just set the single-season record for receptions.
Everything thrown to him.
And what does it amount to? It amounts to a first-round exit. And I know those guys are furious. We have a tradition on Good Morning Football where every single year at the Super Bowl, we sit down with Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
And it's like, Cam, what happened this year? And Cam's always real honest, but he's always super dejected. And it's like they have an all-star team from the coach to every position. I saw the Niners in the Super Bowl. I saw the Vikings in the second round. It's either time, frankly, to bleep or get off the pot with the Saints in this era. Cash went in, or we got other teams to talk about.
And you got to figure, 2-year window at the most, probably, with Brees?
This might be the grand finale.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about 2-year windows with a lot of people.
No doubt.
This league and quarterbacks are crazy right now. But
Eli's gone. Ben's on the way out. Rivers might be gone.
Right.
Still Drew here. This feels like one last job.
And we'll find out March 15th if Teddy Bridgewater is indeed going. And you say that he is. He's pretty much as good as gone. What's crazy about Taysom Hill is if he is indeed now the backup, then you can't use him in all of the other ways that you have. And he has been such as the X factor, the H-back, the halfback, the wide receiver.
Covering kicks.
Yeah. He was doing it all. So now all of a sudden you're pulling a very important piece off the rest of your roster to sit behind Drew Brees and wait patiently because you're not going to run the risk of using him as a gadget guy if he's your only insurance plan to Drew Brees, who missed 5 games last year. They have a lot of decisions to make. And I'm not sure that Teddy Bridgewater is as good as gone if you consider that Taysom Hill is a huge part of their team. I don't know.
Isn't Hill most valuable in this role, though? I understand selfishly he wants to play, and I get that. I would
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
But he's so valuable to them in the role. If you can't use him in that role, then
he's fantastic.
Where are you?
Yeah. I look at his perspective. He says, I want to get up to the big leagues.
Yeah,
I've done the trick plays.
Yep.
I've covered the kicks. Everybody oohs and ahs. I want to be the every down guy, and we don't know if we can. He may have to be eventually because I still think Teddy B is gone.
And speaking of the big leagues, there's a lot of college quarterbacks who want to get up to the big leagues.
The show,
right? How many quarterbacks could get drafted in the top 10? 2? 3?
Come on.
What about 4 wide receivers?
What are you, LeBron counting titles?
Hey.
Not 5, not 6, not 7.
All right, what about this guy? He's counting titles. He has 2, but will he get 3? Should the Steelers be looking for Big Ben's backup? That's the question. I know he has the beard.
Big beard.
Big beard.
Taking that thing down.
Good Morning Football is brought to you by T-Mobile. The first and only nationwide 5G network is here.
When you need hot or cold therapy for strained or injured muscles, don't give up your freedom to get your therapy. Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Mobile Rapid Relief Wraps. Hot or cold therapy wraps that strap in place and stay in place so you can do what you want while getting the therapy you need.
this is the best solution for icing and heating that I've ever found.
Get that healing feeling with CopperFit Rapid Relief Wraps. Find the entire line of CopperFit Rapid Relief mobile wraps now in Walmart Pharmacy.
I really wanted to see how I could help the inequality in our education system. The name of this book is David Goes to School.
One of the first things he did was send our kids to a writing workshop. He actually went there with them, and that makes a big difference.
I'm proud of what he's doing in the community that he loves.
It's extreme pride to represent where you're from and make people proud.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
This is what an MVP does.
There goes Barkley. Oh, baby.
I think they got the best player in the draft.
The Heisman winner, the champion, Joe Burrow, arguably the best college football season ever.
Chase Young.
He's tough. He's an instant playmaker.
The legend of Tua Tagovailoa has begun.
Justin Herbert is going to end with a Pac-12 championship and a Rose Bowl victory.
Speed freaks do everything, all at once, whenever they want.
I'm gonna blow up my knee. I'll be prescribed opioid painkillers, and I'll become addicted. A couple years from now, I'm gonna overdose on heroin on the bathroom floor of a person I don't even know. But I want you all to know that tonight is one of the best moments of my life. Thank you.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth.
There's a terrible disaster in this country. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel is coming on later in the show to talk about what he and the Titans are doing about the tornadoes that went down in their area and much of the south of this country. And meanwhile, to help people affected by those tornadoes and those floods, as the Nashville tornadoes, please, you can visit redcross.org/NFL to make a donation and help those in need.
Well said, KB. We are here in New York City now. Let's take it to Culver City, where my guy Will Selva is waiting. Hey, Will, do you remember in that student newscast class where you saw Walter Cronkite read the teleprompter without proofreading any scripts? And that pretty much changed your life. That's how I felt about you when I met you in Culver City. I said, that guy is as good as anybody, and he has just changed my life.
Love it.
Well, I love you, man.
Oh, Nate. Nate. I love you too, my man. Thank you very much for that. That was definitely a career highlight for me, and I think it's only gone down there for me since then. Either way, most of the attention in Dallas is focused on Dak Prescott's lack of a contract, but there's also the issue of wide receiver Amari Cooper and what to do about his contract status. Now, the Cowboys can use the franchise tag and transition tag on both Cooper and Prescott as they work to try and keep both players. As speculation swirls around his future in Big D, Cooper wants to make something very clear to the organization through an interview with 105.3 The Fan.
Listen, I love being a Dallas Cowboy. I love everything about it. I was just thinking about that today. I think about it almost every day, really. Just primetime games. We play what seems like more night games than anybody, and that always feels good to a football player. Everything, the facility, I love it here in Frisco, where I stay at now. Just the aura of being a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, you can't beat it. So I want to be a Dallas Cowboy for life.
Well, left tackle Jason Peters probably thought he would be an Eagle for life, the remainder of his career after 11 seasons in Philly. That's looking highly unlikely. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reporting the Eagles are letting Peters hit the free agency market. However, according to Mike, the team will remain in contact with Peters throughout the process. Peters is a 9-time Pro Bowler. Now, Peters' Eagles teammate, wide receiver Deshaun Jackson, declared he'll be back stronger than ever from core muscle surgery in November. Jackson went on to tell Bar None Media he feels like he'll be back at 100% and is trying to shatter all the records he hasn't gotten yet. Jackson is currently tied for second all-time with Hall of Famer Randy Moss with 32 career touchdowns of 50 yards or more. Hall of Famer Jerry Rice, of course, tops them both with 36. So, Nate, as a former wide receiver, you see, even at 33, D-Jax feels like there's a lot of unfinished business for him.
Yeah, at 33, I was falling apart. At 33, he's getting faster. That first game this past season.
Ridiculous.
2 touchdowns, 2 bombs.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, he's going to have 20 touchdowns this year.
I thought he was going to break Megatron's record. He's unbelievable. We missed Deshaun Jackson. He's back soon.
We do miss him.
Appreciate it,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Will. We'll get back to you later in the program. It is time to ask some of the NFL's toughest questions right now with a round of woulda, coulda, shoulda. That sounds like my life sometimes. Quarterbacks are always a hot commodity come draft time. We know that. And Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft has 4 of them coming off the board in the first round. But would you be surprised if 4 quarterbacks were drafted in the top 10 of this draft?
KB, what you think, man?
Never. I'll never be surprised by anything in the quarterback era right now. Let me tell you why. 2 years in a row, a 23-year-old kid has been the NFL MVP. 23 years old playing quarterback. I'm talking about Mahomes. I'm talking about Lamar. No one and any time in NFL history has been thirstier for young phenom quarterbacks than the GMs and the head coaches right now. Quarterback's always hot, never hotter. So if you picture, obviously, Burrow, obviously Tua, who I don't think is getting past the 4 pick, and then you start to get into all these other, absolutely I can see it happening because let's not forget, get outside the top 10. Indy at 13, Tampa at 14, potential movers and shakers in. Likely 4 in the top 10? No. But listen to me. It wouldn't surprise me if there were 5. Everybody wants the QB, so the answer is a resounding no.
And you mentioned Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Mahomes was the 10th pick. Lamar actually fell to the last pick of the first round. So you're right. And I said a quote yesterday, and people loved it online, so I'll repeat it. You never go grocery shopping when you're hungry. And that's what happens comes draft day. People get really excited. There's all these mock drafts. It seems like everybody has what they want. And then come draft day, it seems like these teams get so thirsty for quarterbacks, and they pull the trigger. We got these notes from the great Matt Hamilton, super producer, researcher.
Yes,
he said the only time in the common era draft since 1967, 4 QBs went in the top 10. 2018, so it just happened. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen. So you think about those QBs and how many of those actually works. Listen, Baker Mayfield had a good rookie season. Sam Darnold has shown some glimpses. Josh Allen was phenomenal last year. Josh Rosen, I think the jury is still out, but I think teams are looking at situations like this. Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. If we just shake the dice and we land on the right guy, this could change everything for us.
I feel like if 3 go in the top 6, which is definitely possible, you're absolutely getting to 4 in the top 10 because someone's going to get nervous that Jordan Love, if that's who's on the outside third, assuming Herbert goes third of the group, that Jordan Love's going to be gone. And then you say to yourself, am I taking a chance on the development of Jacob Eason, who has an enormous arm and showed it off in Indy? And my guess is at some point in the first round, that happened. So I think you're absolutely right. The need for quarterbacks. And the funny part to me is, guys, we are talking as much about the veteran quarterback right now, largely Brady and Breeze, as we are about these young guys. And it just speaks to what this position is, the most important and most compelling in all of sports.
You make a good point because there's teams that need to get a quarterback right now, and there's teams that need to find a successor. So, I mean, you're right. The quarterbacks are going to go.
Okay. I want to hear about some Jaguars quarterbacks, though. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Okay.
What do you got?
What you got,
Well, our own Mike Garafolo is reporting that the Jaguars, Kyle, have fielded calls about Nick Foles, but they aren't actively shopping their quarterback. So in your mind, could the Jaguars have a starting quarterback not named Nick Foles in week 1?
I don't see it happening.
Really?
Oh, listen, you said, you said,
oh, this is perfect. This is
I love that.
I know that Minshew Mania was crazy, but did Minshew Mania media really put his foot down and say, you can't turn back from here. No. I'm your guy. He had moments, but he also had some games where it looked a little rough. Now, when you think about the money they paid Nick Foles and what they wanted to do when they brought him in, not to mention the play he actually got injured on.
It's the best play ever.
It was the best play ever. And we're looking at it right here. This was a touchdown. So you got to think about what he did.
Pass.
Chark comes down with the TD. He gets banged up. He's sitting on ice for a while. I just feel like they're going to give him one more shot. See if the magic is really there, KB.
Well, he's definitely going to be on the team because if they were to somehow say we're not in the Nick Foles business, it'd be $33.9 million in dead money. That ain't happening. So do you have to take that contract and put it on the bench as a backup? I wouldn't be surprised at all. Listen to me. Gardner Minshew, I don't care. You can pull up his numbers or anything. Gardner Minshew has it. There's something you can watch when you see it. He's got an it to it. He can play the game. As a rookie, came in, did some really impressive things. And I'll tell you this, Doug Marrone, we know this guy. I don't think he cares what the contract is. I don't think he cares who he's supposed to play. He's on borrowed time right now, Doug Marrone. If Gardner Minshew comes in training camp and starts chucking it around in his second year, Nick Foles can sit on the bench. He's done it before. He's done it for a whole career. Yeah. And if something happens and Gardner Minshew gets hurt, Nick Foles comes off the bench and win a Super Bowl and get a statue. It's the way it works. I think Gardner Minshew could start. And depending on how the training camp goes, I think he should. I like Gardner's game.
Headband too? You're in on the headband.
Who is it?
Look at what's all that.
All right, so listen. A lot of shows in Vegas.
Okay.
Cirque du Soleil, Mystère. What would be the show for that gentleman? I'm not talking about just the draft and he gets up there on his little boat and goes to the stage. We're going to talk to you about what he and some of the other big-name prospects, what would their one-man show be? What would it be and would you go? And also, Nate's going to talk about that, man. Amari Cooper, who wants to be a Cowboy for life. AJ Green, is he one of the top 5 free agents? Is he a better free agent right now than Tom Brady? What?
Did he say he wanted to be a Bengal for life?
On a special NFL 360, we celebrate Women's History Month with a look at 6 individuals who helped pave the way for women in football, on and off the field.
We understood what it was like to forge a career with nobody having done it before us.
I don't want there to be a distinction where you have to say, she's a woman coach.
When you're trying to take us to the next level, there's a totally different mentality. No matter what they said or what they did, it wasn't going to stop me.
NFL 360, Sunday at 9, only on NFL Network.
We asked college kids if they would get up early for a Burger King croissant.
No, it's too early.
I didn't even know Burger King had breakfast.
This is good.
This is better than what I usually eat.
Definitely worth waking up for.
The BK croissant. Get 2 for $4 or 2 doubles for $5. Your way better.
Introducing the Hometown Collection by Fanatics. Prep your team in city with this collection of locally inspired graphics designed for the fan. Available at Fanatics.com. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
On October 18th, 2015, my cousin Corey was killed by a plainclothes police officer.
There's just some things that are bigger than football. And I felt like starting the Players Coalition and affecting change in this country was one of those things.
We focused on police community relations, education and economic advancement, and criminal justice reform. The best way to inspire change is to be it.
When you're looking to hire, you can find just the right person on Indeed. Indeed gives you tools like online skills tests, which help a candidate show they're the right hire. We'll also give you this arcade claw toy to select your perfect candidate. Okay, there's no claw toy, but skills tests for sure. Try skills tests free when you post your job at Indeed.com/claw.
Hi, hello. How are you? Great. Now that that's out of the way, it's the Casper end of season clearance. We're making room for something new. In the meantime, save up to 20% on a Casper mattress, including the one with over 50,000 perfect 5-star reviews. Enjoy sleep and saving money? Figured. Save up to 20% and try one for 100 nights risk-free with free shipping and returns. Visit Casper.com or a store near you today.
Tonight on NFL Total Access, before he hits free agency, he's hitting our set. Aqib Talib live in studio. Plus, Derek Brown's last chance to prove he's a top 5 pick. Tonight, 7 Eastern.
It's right around the corner, March 15th. Free agency frenzy begins, and NFL Network is there reporting live breaking news, league-wide rumors, and every single blockbuster deal. Free agency frenzy starts Sunday, March 15th. Only on NFL Network. We'll have everything that you need considering free agents. And speaking of free agents, starting March 16th, actually March 15th at midnight, the legal tampering period begins. And that means teams can contact any player that they want within that space. And these players, they can sign with whoever they want. That's how it all goes down. They could sign with the team of their choosing. So what I'm going to do right now is break down my top 5 free agents to be.
All right.
In a little segment we call Fight My 5. And Kyle, if you want to fight, we can do that.
Anytime.
I know you've been working out.
If you want this smoke.
But you don't even squat, so your legs are a little weak. But let's get this thing popping, okay? Let's start with number 5. Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green.
You know what?
Yep. A.J. Green. A.J. Green is second all-time in Bengals history receiving, and he did not play a game last season. So, listen, he's the man still. I know he was a little banged up, and I don't know what A.J. Green was dealing with last year. I don't know if it was his body or his mind. I don't know if he just feels defeated because they're just not doing anything for him to help him with his career as far as achieving that next step of playoffs and possibly a Super Bowl. But I do feel like he's all healed up. He has his mind right. There are reports out there that A.J. Green is going to get franchised by the Cincinnati Bengals. But think about some potential landing spots. Patriots, Bills, and Colts with T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton, A.J. Green, and the Colts have a ton of money to spend. So if they are indeed going to stay with Jacoby Brissett, maybe they help out Jacoby and try to figure out a way to get A.J. Green. All right, let's go. Number 4, wide receiver Amari Cooper.
Okay.
All right, since week 9 of the previous year when he joined the Cowboys, he's had 14 touchdowns coming from Dak Prescott. We all know Amari Cooper, as soon as he landed on that roster, he was an absolute beast. Had a career high 1,100 yards last year. Like, he is a guy that's going to change any team that he comes on. Listen, he's going to put up 1,000 yards. He's kind of like, you remember Cooks when he was just going from team to team. He was with the
Brandon
Saints.
Cooks?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks. He's with the Saints, and then he goes to the Patriots, and he goes to the Rams.
Every year.
And he just wakes up and put up 1,000 yards.
Every year.
Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. That's Amari Cooper. And you got to think about the teams that could use him, similar to A.J. Green, the Bills, the Colts. What about the Patriots?
What about the Patriots?
What about the Giants with Jason Garrett reuniting with Jason Garrett, even though they have a ton of wide receivers? All right, number 3, Tom Brady, the GOAT himself. Listen, I had to put him in the middle of the pack. I didn't know if I wanted to put him at number 1 or number 5, or if I just wanted to leave him off the list. I don't need to tell you what Tom Brady has done in his career. We're all familiar, right? The greatest of all time. But still, he's floating around. He's going to Syracuse games. He's kicking it with Julian. He's FaceTiming his former peoples.
Yes.
Like, I just feel like Tom Brady is doing all this because he just wants to be courted, okay? Yeah. And if he is a free agent, the Patriots, they haven't been in this position with Tom Brady. Maybe he wants a phone call from Bill Belichick. He wants to hit him up, and Bill Belichick call Tom Brady and just tell him how much he loves him. Can you imagine that call, Kyle?
No, I can't.
You can't. I can't either.
That call.
Hey, Tom. So, yeah, it's Bill. I really want you back. That's all he wants. That's all he wants. All right, so Tom Brady. That's it. Number 2. Titans running back Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Now, he was almost my number 1 pick because Derrick Henry is an absolute beast, right? Yeah. I mean, he's the best running back in all of football, and I hate when people argue with me on Twitter, like, how are you going to argue with numbers? How are you going to argue with highlights? He's the best running back. They're like, oh, but he got shut down by the Chiefs. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
What about that McCaffrey?
That McCaffrey, though. He is a beast.
He is a beast, dude.
But there's only one person wearing the crown, Kyle.
Right.
But think about the landing spots for this individual. Okay, we know the Titans are on that list. What about the Broncos with Philip Lindsay? Philip Lindsay, Derrick Henry. Would that be a crazy combination? It'd be unbelievable. Buccaneers, Texans. What about the Chargers? The Chargers are losing Melvin Gordon. Some might even argue that they're very similar because they're big backs and they have the same type of style. So Derrick Henry, he lands at number 2. I do feel like wherever he goes, he's immediately changing the offense. Best running back in football in his prime, ended the season healthy. That doesn't happen. So he should get broke off big time and play for a good team. Derrick, Don't go to a team that just wants to pay you and you're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to like it there. All right, so.
Wow, Ryan Tannehill, number one. This is going to be great, Nate.
You're right. It is a quarterback.
Is that right?
But not.
Oh!
It's Dak Prescott. Okay, at number one on this list is Dak Prescott. For how much he means to the Cowboys. I mean, think about it. In 4 years, 2 division titles. This previous season, he put up career numbers over 4,000 yards, 30 TDs. He was good. He just wasn't great at certain times. And I hate the narrative that it was all Dak's fault. Like, oh, well, he wasn't worth the money. My guy, Kyle, I will give you this. You predicted that they were going to allow Dak Prescott to start the season. I was fighting with you all summer. There's no way. He won't make it out of training camp. He starts season, and he starts off well. A couple games in, we're like, Jerry Jones, you got to pay this guy. And Jerry Jones, he did it his way, and I respect it. Listen, you don't make as much money as Jerry Jones by reaching in your pocket and paying everybody. You can't convince everybody to come back from Cabo and give them whatever they want. So Dak Prescott is sitting on ice. But if you did a blind resume of Dak Prescott's career through the first 4 years, I guarantee majority of teams in the NFL will say, I'll take that guy.
Okay.
So I feel like with what he brings to the table, what Mike McCarthy needs as a new head coach, this guy is the most important piece. And like we say all the time, there's certain players at certain moments in their career that can change the landscape of the league. Where he lands, if he lands back with the Cowboys and they figure things out, this could change things forever. So I got Dak Prescott as my number one free agent. And here's the thing. There are other teams out there. Cowboys, of course, Chargers, Buccaneers, Colts. You hear the Jacoby Brissett talk. And what about if Ryan Tannehill leaves the Titans? Titans are like, you know what? Jerry Jones isn't going to pay you, Dak. Come on to Tennessee, baby.
We're in the title game last year.
We're in the title game. So I don't know. These are my guys. From 5 to 1, what do you guys think?
This is fun. I like how these segments go. You know, you set up the 5 that you're going to talk about, you know, Nate, and then you do that touchscreen thing where you touch it and you drag it up to the top. It's not working right now, but I think you're supposed to touch this one and put it at 1 and then bring this one down, right?
Well, why would you put Tom Brady at number 1 when you know deep down inside that Tom Brady isn't going anywhere? I mean, this is all fun for us to talk about it every day on the show, but do we really envision Tom Brady in another jersey?
You know where I come out. It seems to be a lot of people disagree with me, though.
Yeah, but I know people at home are sitting back saying, well, Nate, why is he a free agent? And why is he making it such a big deal? Because he wants to be courted. Like, he doesn't feel like there's enough compromise on the Patriots end. For a long time, it's been Tom Brady compromising his own pockets because they have to put talent around him. But Tom Brady he's not going to go somewhere with a new coordinator, new receivers, a new system, and guys that he doesn't trust.
You think Dak is better than Brady?
I feel like Dak is if you're telling me the Cowboys can take Dak Prescott or Tom Brady right now, I'm taking Dak Prescott.
No kidding.
Tom Brady has 1 to 2 years left where he's playing at a high level. Dak Prescott has 10 years where he's going to be playing at a high level.
I look at your list and I don't see Rivers, Tannehill, Winston. I do see A.J. Green. So what's your thought process in not putting the quarterbacks in the top 5, but A.J. Green makes it?
Yeah, I feel like Rivers, who will be a Hall of Famer, is at the end of his career. He's going to fight for a number 1 spot. Jameis is the most entertaining in all of football.
Yes, he is.
I do feel like that thumb being repaired, eyes being repaired, he's going to play better. When it comes to Ryan Tannehill, that's tough. He would have been at number 6 because I was in love with Tannehill this year. But there's also a question. Was Tannehill's success predicated on the legs of Derrick Henry? And if he's gone, is Tannehill still going to be the same guy? That's why he didn't fall into my top 5.
Maybe Tannehill helped Henry a little bit, though.
You're right, and that's a great way to put it. Maybe it was Tannehill that gave Derrick Henry a lot of freedom.
It would have been mutual.
You're right about that.
That's why I don't want that tandem broken up.
Hey, we're going to be talking to Vrabel a little bit.
Get him, Kim. We are. Mike Vrabel later on the show.
You can ask him.
We will indeed. Drew Brees. Let's talk about Drew Brees. He gives his thoughts on where Tom Brady will play next season. And is Dez Bryant to the Cowboys starting to pick up steam? We're going to talk about that.
It's like a celebrity couple getting back together.
You're right.
The big day. Yeah. So do we have a winner?
And I believe this should cover it.
So that's $22.
It's easy to get used to paying low rates when you have the General Insurance.
Maybe Mr. Benjamin can help out then.
That's Mr. George Washington.
You mean Washington's?
The General will insure you, even with a less than perfect driving record.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Reese's eggs are back, and we hit them somewhere you'll never find. Psych! We put them everywhere. Grocery stores and supermarkets, gas stations, and chiropractors' offices, bowling alleys and grocery stores, which we already mentioned. Not sorry, Reese's.
Paul, I am loving the all-new dual camera system with ultra-wide on iPhone 11.
And I love how it's Sprint.
You can get the amazing iPhone 11 for $0 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6S or newer.
In any condition?
Seriously, in any condition.
And because Sprint likes to do things differently, they're offering a 100% total satisfaction guarantee. While I think their network and savings are great, you don't just have to take my word for it. Try it out and see the savings for yourself.
Now that's a picture-perfect deal. Smile.
IHOP's child executive officer has a big idea.
Pancakes plus cereal. Cereal pancakes.
Cereal pancakes, now at IHOP.
And kids eat free.
And kids eat free. Boop. From the mind of our child executive officer.
Enterprise Car Sales has access to over 500,000 pre-owned vehicles, most with tech features like blind spot detection, backup camera, because you never know what might be behind you.
Does the sloth come standard? Looking to buy? Enterprise makes it easy.
With the savings rates offered at some banks, your money almost feels like it's frozen. With Capital One, you can open a new savings account in about 5 minutes and earn 5 times the national average. This is banking reimagined with your wallet.
The NFL season is 17 weeks, 32 teams, 256 games, plus preseason and playoffs. That's over 50,000 plays. Like this one, each generating thousands of data points that can help the NFL understand player health and safety like never before. With Amazon Web Services technology, we'll simulate in-game scenarios millions of times to pinpoint where and how we can advance player safety. And that's building a better game.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But not for your clients. That's why we're a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first.
So what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios?
Nope. We tailor portfolios to our clients' needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right?
We don't have those.
So what's in it for you?
Our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
All this week, we're replaying every episode of the NFL 100 All-Time Team.
You had a way of making people think they were open just to set the trap.
It's hard to get there, and it's so hard to win it.
Ray, you're one of the most complete players that ever played the game.
Just this big, enormous guy that is unstoppable.
All of these great wide receivers, they didn't do it the way he do.
Being the company of these men, pretty sweet.
Hey, I'm Kevin Byard here with the Tennessee Titans, and you're watching Good Morning Football.
Okay, what's up, Kevin Byard? That's our guy right now. We're here in NYC, but let's take it to L.A. where my guy Will Selva is waiting to give us some news. Hey, Will, do you remember when you went to Churchill Downs and you were covering Barbaro's monumental victory over the other horses by 6.5 lengths? I just want to let you know that's how far ahead you are from other people in your space, my
There you go.
Oh, wow. Nate, you've been reading my resume, just like Kyle was reading Kim's. Wow, that is unbelievable.
Yes.
We're going bullet point by bullet point. I appreciate that.
It feels a little like stalking, doesn't it, Will? Just a little bit?
Some people call it respect. Well, Nate is on your Wikipedia, Will, and he's reading all of it. Just wait till we start defacing it and changing it during I got some ideas of some changes I'd like.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
This could be a long
Take it away.
morning. Thank you, one and all. Well, pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney making it known he enjoyed his one season in Seattle, but did he enjoy it enough where reunion is a certainty? Well, that all depends on the money he would be getting from them. Problem is, SNY is reporting the Giants are on Clowney's wish list and have been linked to him for quite some time. However, in this same report, it was pointed out that he would likely be looking at a deal in the range of 22 or 23 mil, which would probably be too much for the G-men. The Colts are also said to be interested in Clowney, as well as, of course, the Seahawks. Well, the Trent Williams off again, on again relationship with the Redskins is off again. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reporting Washington granted the offensive tackle permission to seek a trade. Williams didn't play in a game last season, returning to the team only to land on injured reserve. Williams believes the team's medical staff misdiagnosed a cancerous tumor on his head. 49ers fall back in front of the show. Kyle Juszczyk is happy where he is, and the team made him happier by exercising the option in his contract. Juszczyk caught 20 passes for 239 yards and 1 touchdown, including a receiving TD in the Super Bowl. He also showed his worth as a tremendous blocker. The Niners also picking up the option on corner K'Wan Williams as well. Running back Jeff Wilson Jr. among 5 Niners tendered exclusive rights free agents. Despite being in a crowded backfield, he still managed to rush for 105 yards on 27 carries with 4 touchdowns, including the game winner against Arizona. Wilson came on the show earlier this week, and voila, look what happened. It was all because of the power of one Kim Jones. We had Mike Adams come on the show and retire. We had Jeff Wilson come on, and he's sticking with the 49ers. Is Mike Vrabel going to tell us that they're going for Brady and he's going to sign with them? I mean, Kim, what are you going to do for us this morning?
Well, that's a lot of pressure. I think Mike Vrabel will lay it all out for us.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Your lips,
He's
God's
going to
ears.
lay it all out. We're going to have all the answers. That's what I think, Will Silva. Thank you so much, Will.
Yep,
Wikipedia
absolutely.
Will, they call him.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, yesterday on the show, we showed you this ridiculous Dez Bryant workout video flat on his back, making one-handed catches. Think they could use that kind of skill in Dallas? In an interview with Fanatics View, Dez Bryant said, "What I can do right now would be perfect for what they, the Cowboys, have got going on." Guys, should Dallas be interested in Dez for this season?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Whether they sign Amari or not, I feel like Dez Bryant needs to sign up for the Dallas Cowboys experience over the next year or so, because they're so close to winning a Super Bowl. And I would love to see a guy who has already went down in the record books as a Cowboy have a chance at winning a Super Bowl. Dez got robbed with the catch or no catch early in his career, and I feel like everything needs to be repaired. That has been changed since then, and I feel like the relationship that Dez has had that has been strained should be changed back to a good, healthy one. You know, there's a few guys that I'm looking forward to coming back from an Achilles. You know, Emmanuel Sanders did it last year. He was fantastic. Kevin Durant is a guy that I'm looking forward to seeing back on the basketball court. Kyle Brandt, he bounced back. And we actually have the footage of him. No, I'm joking.
I'm looking at the footage. We do have footage of me
We do
blowing
have
my
footage.
Achilles.
Devastating. It was devastating.
Devastating.
But I haven't seen a lot of guys bounce back from an injury like that. And I'm not over-exaggerating, but I was really surprised when I saw how fast Dez was moving. And I think he's in great shape. His mind is right. And you know what? When the game moves on from you, it humbles you, and it puts you in a different space. So I feel like this Dez Bryant, 2020 Dez Bryant, will be a lot better teammate, a better ambassador, and a better leader for the young wide receivers than the old Dez Bryant.
He was moving fast. He was moving faster than Nate when he broke his arm reaching for a pizza. We have video of that, too. Oh, hold on. Can we roll it? No, we don't. Listen, Nate, you're in your feelings a little bit. You're saying 100%, not 90, not 80. You want it, and I don't blame you.
I'm going hard.
There's this reunion has a very People magazine feel, a very much.
What do you mean?
Everybody in this country loves the celebrities getting back together. Like there's people on the edge of their seat. Will Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green reunite? You know,
Jen and Brad.
Right, Jen and Brad. They're having sleepovers. He's meeting the kids. Like whatever it is, we love that bleep. Okay, we love it. The question is, when they get back together, things done changed a bit, okay? You have to have reevaluate expectations. Like, Dez has been on the shelf for a while. He had the bad injury. He is not Dez Bryant, superstar receiver, and that's fine. I just want to make sure that there's a monetary expectation for Dez, because let's be honest here. If Amari stays, Amari, Gallup, Randall Cobb, who Mike McCarthy has a huge history with. It's
true.
There's not a lot of room at the end. So if Dez Bryant wants to show up and be the 3/4, and on a 3rd and 6, maybe he gets you 8 yards and he makes $1.2 million, fine. Otherwise, there's 31 other teams, guys. I want to see Dez come back too. And it's not the People magazine reuniting, but maybe it's a good future. It doesn't have to be Dallas. I hope his heart's not set on it.
That's what I was going to ask, though, about the contract. Like, do you think Dez understands that stuff has all changed?
I would think.
I would think he would understand that. I also think, if not Dallas, where? I mean, I think they know him best, obviously. It seems to me Jerry would have to move this thing along for the reasons that you state. They have some other receivers that they want to draw upon. They also are going to have every chance to get a rookie in this draft. whose career will completely be ahead of him.
No doubt about it.
So for Dez, I think he's going to have to tug on Jerry's heartstrings.
And on top of that, I feel like, to Kyle's point, the monetary issues, maybe it is a bet on himself year for Dez.
Yeah.
He understands, you know what, look, I'm going to make the bet minimum and then try to break the bank later.
Throw up the X, get back with your ex. Drew Brees makes a very bold statement. Look at that. There's a giant Drew Brees face. He's talking about his future, and it's not necessarily what you would think he would say. How about the draft? It's going to Las Vegas, Nevada. Every time I say that, I can't believe it, but it's happening. Is that man going to put on the biggest show in town? What Vegas show would each prospect be the star of right after this?
Pain, swelling, stiffness. When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new CopperFit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that fits like a second skin to support relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in to provide a strong, non-slip grip for more power and control.
You need total control of your hands when you're doing anything with construction. Your hands are your livelihood. The CopperFit gloves are great. The grip is outstanding here with these different ribs. It makes my hand a lot more usable. It just feels like you're just ready to start the job.
The gloves have been a game changer for me. They help with flexibility and pain and soreness. They allow me to do my job even better.
Breathable wicking fabric with an open finger design for full range of motion, feel, and control.
They relieve my pain. When I grab something, I'm not in pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is, it works.
I get a lot of pain, and it can make it difficult to do the smallest thing. While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone, I drive with it, I sleep with it. I love this glove.
The new CopperFit compression gloves with Sure Grip technology. Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-249-2701 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
I tried it, I use it, I know it works.
CopperFit gloves definitely just make my life better.
I've used CopperFit before. This has helped my hands so much. These things work.
Feel better with copper-infused compression. Ask for it by name. CopperFit compression gloves.
March 15th. Free agency frenzy begins.
Is in for the touchdown.
And NFL Network is there, reporting on live breaking news.
He can bring that magic with him.
League-wide rumors.
This could be a key addition.
And every blockbuster deal.
This guy's a game record. He's a winner.
Oh, my goodness. That's big time there.
Free agent.
Speed freaks do everything, all at once, whenever they want. Speed freaks don't worry about too many devices, because speed freaks get all the speed they'll ever need. Speed freaks have gig service internet for just $74.99 a month, plus taxes and fees, and no annual commitment. Here, let us guide the speed freak in you.
I want to use my platform to speak out for people who can't speak out for themselves. Whether it was criminal justice reform, education disparity, police community engagement, it's like, let me do my part. This started with this bill to restore voting rights.
Players from the Saints helped that law get passed because they got involved.
When an athlete steps up, people listen.
It's the power of collaboration. That's how we create change.
Oh yeah, the future of the NFL shines under the bright lights of Sin City. 2020 NFL Draft, it is coming to the NFL's newest home. It's Las Vegas. So from the red carpet all the way up to the draft stage, college football's best set their sights on a lifelong dream, and nobody has it covered like NFL Network. You're going to find out where the next wave of NFL stars will land, and you're going to find out April 23rd through April 25th, live from Vegas. The future is here. This one is going to be wild. Now, Las Vegas is home of the Raiders, but for years and years and years, it's been home of the shows. And it's not just about the felt and the pools. Right. It's these classic Las Vegas shows. As I turn to my friends over here, you guys ever been to one of these Vegas shows, like one of the classics? What have you been to?
I have. I went to a show called Absinthe, which it was acrobats and drinks.
Absinthe?
The wife and I, yeah.
No kidding.
I don't remember half the night, but it was a good time.
Oh, man. Kim, have you ever been?
No, but I wanted to go see Barry Manilow. Does that count?
Of course
Yeah,
it does.
thank you.
Her name was Rita. She was a showgirl. So what we're going to do here today in our segment called Vegas Vocation. Vegas Vocation. Ellen Griswold falling in love with Wayne Newton. We're going to take one of the top performers coming out of college this year, one of the guys we're looking at in the draft, and put him in a Vegas show. And keep an eye on during our Vegas Vocation. Which player would you choose, and what would his one-person show be? Nate Burleson.
Okay, let's start this thing off. Next month, the new big show on the Strip will be a mind-blowing show. It'll make Penn and Teller look like a birthday party magician.
Okay.
Shout out to TJ Gagliardi. The performer I'm talking about has all the traits you want to see in a show-stopping act. He's fast, he's confident, and above all, he is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the quickest show in Vegas. It's Henry Hoover. Damn, he's fast.
You went with the damn joke?
Yeah, the Hoover Dam.
Oh, I love it. I love
Okay?
it. Right there.
Damn, he's fast. The 427. Listen, you get to see him just run and run and run. And what I heard is while he run 40s, they'll hand out complimentary 40s. Sounds like a good
true?
time.
There you go.
The drinks?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. King
So that's it.
Cobra?
Yeah.
All right, Nate's going to go to... Nate, tell me the name of the show again.
Henry Hoover. Damn, he's fast.
This is some segment. All right. Kim, you're an incredibly accomplished journalist. How do you follow Henry Hoover? What would your player be and what would your show be?
Well, he's not nearly as fast,
Okay.
so I'm going to say that first and foremost. But if you like excellence, victory, and personality in your entertainment, I got your guy. Look no further from the showcase I'm about to preview.
Okay.
Originally produced in stages in Baton Rouge, this young star is taking his act to the big stages for the entire world to see. It's selling out fast and might be moving to Cincinnati permanently. They got riverboats there. They got Powell Brown Stadium. He'll be just fine. So get your tickets for the one and only Smokin' Joe Burrow. Live in Vegas. There he is.
Ooh,
that's my guy.
Joe.
Love
Doesn't
that.
that seem like a good show? Is it like a one-man act?
Yeah.
Or he just smokes
His
cigars?
hands look very big here.
Oh,
Hands
yeah,
look
you're right.
very big.
Very.
Well, we photoshopped it.
It does appear to be sort of in like a seedy area of Vegas, too. Like, I kind of like that.
Kind of like that, right? A little risky.
A little off the map, a little risky, and this kind of fits in. I mean, he's a little risky.
He adapts well to his surroundings.
I think he does,
I think we
too.
know that about Joe.
You're right, and he's better adapted to Cincinnati fast. I'm into Smokin' Joe Burrow. I think it's a clubhouse leader over Henry Hoover. Damn, he's fast. I love a good show here. I love the Cirque du Soleil ones. I've been to all of them. I even went to the Zumanity one, which is like the adult one.
I remember that.
It's a little much.
It was like Zootopia going wild.
A lot of that, yes. Like abundant male nudity. Now, I'm going to do a show, though, another show I went to once that it was one of the strangest nights I've ever had. And I'm going to look at Tua Tagovailoa. And this is a guy who doesn't say much.
Right.
He's got really, really good rhythm, and he inspires people around him. So, guys, I'm going to buy tickets to what I call two-man group. That's it. We're going to go. We're going to go to two-man group. They're going to get after it with a heavy percussion. There it is. Look at Tua with the novelty glasses and the giant headphones. And if you think about it, you know, Tua, he might end up in Indianapolis, which is blue, Carolina, which is blue. He's from Hawaii. I know a team called Detroit, which is Honolulu blue. And he makes a splash. Sometimes they put the stuff on the drum and it splash. It's like slightly better Stomp, I would say. I've seen both of them. Got ripped off at Stomp. Blue Man Group was great. Two-man group up there just doing his thing. I'm into that. What do you guys think?
I like that.
Dolphins blue. Can we get that in there? A little
You know
bit
what?
of teal,
That's a
a little bit
great
of teal.
aqua
We can
blue.
combine the green
blue.
and the just combine those.
Listen, the Dolphins are very, very into this. You can imagine they like this quarterback. They like this show. I'm sure Brian Flores is really a big fan of this graphic that we've made. He's a guy who loves the levity. So in review, we got Henry Hoover. Damn, he's fast.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe Burrow with a big old Cohiba, and the two-man group. So if you're watching our program this morning, God bless you, and please tweet us, which show do you want to go to? Someone hands you free tickets on the street. Which one are you
Kyle,
going to
so
first?
you've been to Zumanity.
Oh, yeah.
You saw a Blue Man Group, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. What else?
I've seen the Beatles one.
What's the best show in Vegas?
I got to tell you, Copperfield still has his fastball.
Really?
I saw David Copperfield. That blew my hair back. I loved it. I know all these new magicians. Copperfield's the OG. I like him.
Did you see Chris Angel?
I did not see Chris Angel, no.
I would have wanted to see him.
I would have wanted to, too. I went to Copperfield just so I could catch Claudia Schiffer. She wasn't there. But, guys, that's all we got. Let us know which show you want to go to. It is called Vegas Vocation. And yet again, we splashed this segment name. Drew Brees says where he thinks Tom Brady will play next season. Drew Brees actually weighs in on Tom Brady. Usually don't talk about each other, but Brees had a take. It was a good one. As you're looking at, what are we looking at, Hawaii there? Is that actually New York City? It's a
what is
that?
It's a beautiful morning.
That's New York?
Yeah, no, that is in fact the
New
York
City. There she is.
Ray Stantz drove it in Ghostbusters 2.
Can we just...
We asked college kids if they would get up early for a Burger King croissant.
No, it's too early.
I didn't even know Burger King had breakfast.
This is good.
This is better than what I usually eat.
Definitely worth waking up for.
The BK croissant. Get 2 for $4 or 2 doubles for $5. Your way better.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamug.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Indeed's hiring tools, like skills tests, let a person show you they're the right candidate. We also give you a groundhog to point out your perfect hire.
You got the job.
Okay, no groundhog, but try skills tests free at Indeed.com/groundhog.
Hi, hello, how are you? Great. Now that that's out of the way, it's the Casper end of season clearance. We're making room for something new. In the meantime, save up to 20% on a Casper mattress, including the one with over 50,000 perfect 5-star reviews. Enjoy sleep and saving money? Figured. Save up to 20% and try one for 100 nights risk-free with free shipping and returns. Visit Casper.com or a store near you today.
You have a full-time job and commitments to keep. You're also determined to advance your career. Welcome to Coursera, career-accelerating degrees online from the world's best universities for today's busy lives.
I just wanted my kids to know that you don't ever stop.
Get a high-quality degree 100% online, often for as little as half the cost.
It's allowed me to end up in a position that I was only really dreaming of.
Join Coursera for free at Coursera.org and try a degree course today. Coursera, your course to success.
Guys, how frustrating is it to find a great fitting t-shirt? It's never the right length. Standard t-shirts are one size fits all. M. Taylor custom t-shirts use 8 different measurements to give you the perfect fit. Your phone can measure you right now. M. Taylor for iOS or Android.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Walking into a clothing store is a completely different experience for me now.
It's amazing. I'm learning how the brain works, but not just any brain, but my brain.
This is not just some temporary kind of fix. It's psychology.
Visit Noom.com and change your life for good.
Did you know 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. faces hunger? That's why America's dairy farmers and the NFL have provided more than 3 billion additional breakfasts to kids in schools. Find out more by visiting fueluptoplay60.com.
Congratulations to Rich Eisen on another successful 40-yard dash. And thank you to all that ran or donated to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, including our marquee sponsors.
Welcome back to Good Morning Football. We are here live in New York City. It is Friday, March 6th. I am Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt to my left, and the great Kim Jones to my right. It is going down a Friday show. Kim, what's up?
This is a great week so far. We got a couple hours left. It's Friday, TGIF.
TGIF.
I absolutely love it.
In here, it's always Friday.
It does seem that way, and I love that about you guys.
Thank you.
And as you two know, we have talked all week about which teams pending free agent quarterback Tom Brady may be interested in, but which teams are really interested in Brady? With more, let's hear from our own Mike Giardi.
There is no free agent or potential free agent attracting quite as much attention and buzz as Tom Brady. But the question is, how many teams will really be involved? While there are as many as 12 teams that have reportedly been sniffing around and knocking on that door prior to the legal tampering period, I'm told to expect the number to actually be much smaller than that, in part because many of these teams don't necessarily want to turn over their entire franchise to a quarterback who will be 43 in August and has played in the same system for the last 20 years. And the other part of that is from Brady's needs. It's all about winning a championship for him. So you can talk about this large number of teams, but actually how many of those teams can deliver on that good and surround him with the talent to win another title?
Mike, thanks so much for that. Guys, has anything happened or anything we have discussed this week made you change your minds about the Tom Brady situation?
Tell us yes, Nate.
No.
No, tell us yes.
No, I don't want to tell you yes.
Let's change something.
Because I don't believe it. I feel like everything that they're doing is kind of like a world tour to show Tom Brady's personality and also his comfort and peace that he's in a free agent situation. Because that's the big deal, right? It's the Patriots and Tom Brady have never been in this situation before. But I truly believe the best case for Tom Brady is to be in a Patriots uniform. Tom Brady wants another opportunity to win a Super Bowl. What is more fitting than to be with the team, the offense, and the coordinator and head coach that you love? You know, I brought this up before about a special advantage that Tom Brady has working within a playbook that he's been in almost 2 decades. When he goes to the sideline in the second quarter, right, and the game isn't going his way, he can look at his coordinator, Josh McDaniels, he can look at his head coach, Bill Belichick, and they can dive in their playbook, and they can look at plays not from last month, not from last year, not even from the last 10 years. They can go back almost 20 years and say, you know what, you remember back in 2004 when we ran that play up against the Giants. Yeah, we want to run that one. And they both know exactly what each other are talking about. The difficulty that young players have with new coaches is that when they get to the sideline in the same situation, the coach is like, all right, you remember the play we worked on yesterday at practice? That's the only one we can run because that's the only one that you know. So you're telling me Tom Brady is going to give up that type of comfort and control, that wealth of knowledge that he knows like the back of his hand, to what? Prove that he could play in a different jersey?
It's a lot, isn't it?
No. He's going to go back to where his bread is buttered and where he's beloved the most, and that is where his legacy is in New England, in Foxborough next season.
I like when the people talk up Destination by saying, you know, they have a beautiful facility. You think Tom Brady's going to alter his entire legacy for a nice training room? Doesn't that seem super?
He has his own facility.
Yeah, he literally has his own facility. And if we're asking, has anything changed our mind? It's March. Let's do like a little one shining moment montage.
What do you got?
Okay.
Let's cue the Luther. Okay, so breathless commentary about how San Francisco is interested, and people being like, you don't understand. This Niner thing, this is real. He's not going to the 49ers. It's not happening. I don't see John Lynch, Shanahan, et al. saying, well, we're at the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Maybe he wasn't perfect, but we have a $100 million deal. Let's bring in Brady, who doesn't even necessarily fit our system. Let's just upend the whole thing. That's not happening. The Mike Vrabel video. Julian Edelman and Tom Brady show up front row at a basketball game. Mike Vrabel, who is a chop buster and a sort of a wise ass, and the reason we like him. You see your friends on TV, you FaceTime them, you say, what are you guys doing there? It's just nonsense. It's fun. It's a thing you do with your friends. That means nothing. How about there was a report that Brady talked to Belichick and it didn't go well? First of all, I don't imagine Bill Belichick is much of a phone guy, all right? I just don't see that happening. And who is? In this day, what phone call do you actually want to be on if that you're not texting or you're not emailing? I think there's nothing to that.
Who's getting that scoop, by the way?
I don't know. Someone listening in like in the 1920s in a van outside their room on a stakeout?
Actually, that would be interesting.
That's huge, but it didn't happen. And so, Kim, I think this is interesting because you are an intrepid journalist at the table, and it seems to me for the last month or so that the bottom line on Brady stuff has been just tweet or say anything, and then people will forget about it when the news doesn't happen. Is there not any sort of accountability, any freezing cold takes for these people saying, like, I'd be shocked if he doesn't play somewhere else? He's not going to play somewhere else. I've said it from the get-go. Where do you come out?
And I agree with you guys. I have, this
God
week,
bless you.
I've agreed. I think he's going to go back to the Patriots. The couple of things that are most interesting to me about Brady is he has wanted, essentially, though, to be acknowledged that he's worthy, that he is their guy. And I do find that interesting because we think of Brady as almost robotic in the sense of he goes out there, he takes them to the cusp of the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl many years, and he wins. And yet there's still the human quality.
Why do you take that away? Why do you see that from him, that he wants to be acknowledged? I'm interested.
Well, I think that you see in the fun he had with the Super Bowl commercial where he was walking, it looked like out of Gillette Stadium for perhaps the last time, or checking out Gillette Stadium for perhaps the last time. Oh no, that was just a promo of a Super Bowl commercial. Just having some fun with you there. Can he possibly leave his bromance with Edelman?
Yeah.
I think that answer is clearly no.
Right.
So I do think that's the best place for him. I think he just wants to make sure he's wanted, especially by Bill Belichick. And I don't know that he'll actually hear those words. I don't know that he won't, but it would be a conversation you'd love to overhear.
You're right. Or sometimes you don't need to hear from Bill Belichick, you need to hear from Benjamin Franklin. He hasn't heard that either. I mean, do you think that money is really the thing? Because I've always thought it was still the second and third issue. I think he wants toys and weapons, and he wants to win.
And that's always been
him.
him.
And he can't win with Julian and friends.
Right.
Like, I think we got to bring in some names here.
Right. I think Gronk's departure showed how much they need others to pick up the slack.
No doubt.
Gronk did an awful lot for that offense, and I think we all understood that, but maybe we didn't know how much.
It's interesting, Nate, because you were kind of an agent of chaos sometimes. You like to see move. And yet you've been sitting here squatting on he's not leaving, he's not leaving. Aside from McDaniels and Belichick and all that, like, how are you so sure? Because it's not like you.
I'm very steadfast in my faith that he's going to return back to the New England Patriots. You know what, Kyle? Maybe it's just my hope. Maybe it's the football player in me, and I love guys mixing it up. I'm a new face, new place guy. I was a free agent twice. I played for 4 different teams. So I like when you can create a legacy somewhere else and put 10 toes down on a different turf. But I just kind of want our legends to remain. You know what I mean? Like I said, Jordan going to the Wizards, not that he wasn't great there, but I would have rather seen him retire as a
Killed me, dude. I hated it.
You know what I mean? So I want Brady to retire as a Patriot.
The storybook takes an awfully weird final turn.
Right.
When it doesn't finish out.
Right.
Yeah, and this one can finish out.
No Absolutely.
Doubt. And who doubts that they could be back in it?
Not me.
Next season.
Not me.
Obviously.
No doubt.
Well, earlier in the show, we heard Drew Brees confess his commitment to playing in New Orleans as long as the Saints will have him. The same commitment has not been stated by Tom Brady toward the Patriots. Here's what Drew Brees had to say about Brady's current situation.
I love Tom Brady. I feel the way everybody else around here does about Tom Brady. He's a legend, and I don't see him going anywhere. But then again, I can't speak for him or anybody else. I don't think any of this is about money for Tom. I think it's about winning another championship. I also think it's probably about feeling like he's in a situation where he's got all the pieces in place to do that. Again, I can't speak for him, but I know at this stage in the game and knowing his mentality to a degree, it's about winning a championship.
Earlier, we heard Brees say, I'm Who Dat Nation for life. Are you guys surprised Tom Brady won't simply say, I'm a Patriot for life? And once he does that, would all of the drama be gone?
The drama would be gone, but I'm not surprised he wouldn't say it. Tom Brady has never been professionally single before. Drew Brees has. Drew Brees has been through free agency.
Yes, he has.
Drew Brees has changed teams.
Yep.
And you got to understand, they're playing with a different deck. Drew Brees has made very, very emotional commitments to the city of New Orleans post-Katrina, and we moved our family here. And there's something extra special going on with him that goes beyond football and beyond money that is a commitment. Tom Brady doesn't have that, and plus, if Tom Brady comes out and says it, then all the leverage is gone. A, he likes all this Titans talk. He enjoys it, I think. B, it maybe help him get more money from the Patriots. So I think we will come a time when Tom Brady does say that. It's just not going to be until he has a new deal with the Patriots, which Nate guarantees us he will.
Yeah, here's the thing. You said it's just like a relationship. So, it's kind of like, if somebody doesn't say "I love you," you're hesitant to say "I love you" first.
Say thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
It's so nice.
Yeah, so nice. It's the same situation with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Like, Tom, of course, can come out and say, "I want to be a Patriot for life." But what happened? The Patriots come out and said, "Listen, we want Tom Brady. We're going to do whatever it takes to keep Tom Brady. We want him to be a Patriot for life." But it just hasn't happened yet. So Tom is sitting back, like, it's almost like a game of chicken and love.
It is.
And whoever is the first one to budge is the one that loses.
They have to understand they're better together. They have to understand that.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. No
and I think that they do. I think it's a matter of getting there. And it wasn't going to be easy.
Never. But it's like no one even Belichick for 20 years. Don't care who you are. Right. Lawyer Malloy.
But we never thought we'd see the day Tom would be in that situation.
We thought he'd be the exception. I don't think he's the exception.
Maybe there aren't exceptions.
I don't think there are.
because if that isn't one, maybe there aren't any with Belichick.
I don't think Belichick says, I love you first.
No.
Or he would have said it already, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Someone has to go in for the kiss. Someone has to initiate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a perfect thing, and neither wants to.
And Belichick is, I know this isn't breaking news, but he is unapologetically himself.
For sure.
And I have great respect for that. I really do. I have great respect for it. And the guys who try to kind of be Belichick have realized that has to be him, and that's his authenticity. You can't mirror it. You can't duplicate it. You can't take it with you when you go to a different franchise. It doesn't work for anyone else. It works and has worked for him.
You're right about that. And speaking of unapologetically themselves, how about this guy right here?
Here we go.
We have a huge guest coming up. He's a beast as a player and cementing himself as one of the best head coaches in the business. Mike Vrabel will be joining us in just a bit. And I have a question. How is Ron Rivera trying to remake the Redskins?
Okay.
DC do-over. Riverboat Ron. What's going down?
Let's go out to Ida with chicken or shrimp fajitas now on Chili's 3 for $10. Ida is a little bit spicy and a whole lot of that's a fajita starter and drink for just $10. So let's go out to Ida.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis? Hey, do they ever ask you what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Red sweater, button-down shirt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-494-2413. That's 800-494-2413. Names matter. Your name and your company's name. At 4imprint, every name and logo is printed with certainty. Right, on time, every time. Guaranteed. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Tonight on NFL Total Access, before he hits free agency, he's hitting our set. Aqib Talib live in studio. Plus, Derek Brown's last chance to prove he's a top 5 pick. Tonight, 7 Eastern.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
The Heisman winner, the champion, Joe Burrow.
Chase Young.
He's an instant playmaker.
The legend of Tua has begun.
Herbert's going to cap his career with a Rose Bowl championship.
With the first pick.
This is NFL Network, the place where football and culture collide. It's the collision of the GOATs and the MCs.
Tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
With the fashion and the food.
I promise you're going to let them here. Eat it.
Slammed in with the fans, the stands, and the 12th man. Mashed up with the music.
It's a real big culture moment right now.
And the movies.
I started watching the show years ago.
Mixed in with the X's and O's and the oohs and ahs.
Are you kidding me?
It's the fantasy.
You can't steer away from Hopkins, but you can certainly take Adams over.
And the reality. It's the access.
People are going to count us out every week.
And the attitude.
Say it to management or shut your mouth and put your money on the line.
It's the trash talk.
Go quick.
And the crazy talk.
More bricks on the pile. Let's go.
It's all here, all day, every day. Because there's no such thing as too much football.
Big news out out of our nation's capital, Trent Williams has been granted permission to be traded by the Redskins. He hasn't played a snap since the 2018 season. Remember, a few weeks back, Ron Rivera had reached out to Williams. We actually thought something positive was going to happen, but now we know he has been granted permission to seek a trade, to find a trade partner. What do we make of this, guys? Is the damage between Williams and the organization too deep? Can Ron Rivera perhaps save this?
It's definitely deep. I mean, just for the simple fact that he has set out this long, really at the prime of his career. But I do feel like if there's anybody, it's Riverboat Ron. We've met Ron Rivera on numerous occasions, and he is a great dude. Like, Kyle, being a football player, you know, when you sit down with a dude that gives you that feeling again, like it's different, man. There's a lot of coaches that don't do it for us, but Ron is that guy that can sit down with you, have a real conversation, and make you feel comfortable. And with what we're hearing about this Trent Williams situation, it was a conversation of comfort. He didn't feel comfortable with the staff, the training staff, the doctors, and I feel like maybe Ron could give him that peace again.
If anybody could, it be Ron. We're all on the same page there. Ron's like the coolest guy ever. He's nice. He's in the community. He's an 85 Bears linebacker, military, all that. You got to get out of here. This is not a guy who's unhappy with his contract or his playing time. If you really get deep into the Trent Williams weeds, there is a fundamental distrust with the organization, with being in the building. I mean, we haven't seen much like this. So Ron probably sat down, gave it a college try. Let's sit down, break bread. It's new now. We can make you comfortable. And if Trent's still like, no, I don't want to be, you got to get out of here, guys. This is a relationship that has gone on and festered. It's deep-seated stuff that Trent Williams is never going to get over. And would you really even want him to stay? He's not going to be comfortable. He doesn't. The training staff, the training tables, he doesn't want to be in there. Why would you want him to stay? A guy who's that uncomfortable. I know he's a good player. Get him out of there. This is not made to work.
I have to believe it. I believe 31 years old. He'll be highly sought after. There was a boxing video yesterday.
Great.
He looked great for, and that means something in terms of his movement and everything else. Here's one thing I would say, and it's personal to me. Apparently, I'm at least under the impression this is a former training staff, medical people there. Those folks were I call them my first responders. On November 15th, 2018. I was at the Redskins facility when I had what we then found out was an aortic dissection. At the moment, no one knew what was wrong with me. They literally saved my life. Wow. So I have great love for the Washington Redskins and that staff, Dr. West. The list goes on. But Dr. Robin West was great. I've had a chance to talk to her more recently. And it makes me sad that Trent had that experience that he did. I have to believe there's a way to mend it, but that's very personal to me. So I certainly understand if Trent Williams were sitting at this table and he said, no,
my experience
mine is different. That road is broken for me. I would love to see it work there. I do think if Ron Rivera could make it work, he would help a team that is on the rise. We've talked about that defense and what that looks like for the Redskins, but this whole thing saddens me. I'll be honest about that because it certainly is far different with different people involved than my experience.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, and thank you to those first responders because you're here.
I'm here.
If anybody doesn't know, Kim had a very, very, very scary, dire health scare. I was not aware that the Redskins were a part of that.
I was there. I was working there.
Personnel?
I interviewed Josh Norman. I interviewed Adrian Peterson that day.
And
I had great stuff. And they first of all, they knew that I needed an ambulance right away as opposed to trying to just treat me. And they kept me as stable as they could before that ambulance got there. Every person, I don't want to make it too much about me, but every person that day, and the reason I say first responders is everyone who came in contact with me was making initial decisions that saved my life.
Right,
and had one of them been wrong, I wouldn't be here. So they were my first responders, and they acted quickly. It was a snowy day in D.C. It was one of those weird early snow days in November that we get sometimes on the East Coast. So the weather didn't cooperate. But the ambulance got there. They got me in the ambulance. They followed up. They've been terrific to me since. So again, that's why we're allowed to all have different experiences, and we certainly do. And I'm not in any way condemning Trent Williams at all.
Right.
He had his own journey there.
Have you thought about reaching out to him, Kim?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk to him. He may or may not care what I have to say, and that's fair too.
But this story goes, people hear what he has to say. They start making pot shots at the Redskins.
Right.
This training staff, this medical staff, gets dragged in this story.
Yes.
It doesn't go well for them.
Right.
You're saying, hold on a second, there's another side to this.
It's new people, from what I understand,
Right.
and certainly my experience was far different. So.
Okay. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Kim.
All right, let's move this thing along. Will Selva out in L.A. Will, you got some news for us, man?
Absolutely, and so glad, Kim, that you shared that story, and so glad that you're with us to be on set. That is just a tremendous story, so thank you for sharing that. Yes, we have plenty of news, Nate. Most of the attention in Dallas is focused on Dak Prescott's lack of a contract, but there's also the issue of wide receiver Amari Cooper and what to do about his contract status. Of course, Cooper had his best statistical season in 2019, setting career highs in receiving yards and touchdowns. Much of that credit can be given to his chemistry with Dak. While Amari said he wants to be a Cowboy for life, he was asked by 105.3 The Fan how important it is that Prescott returns to Big D with him.
It's very important. We've built a good relationship so far. From the time I got here, we were able to hit the ground running. And just from my experience of being in the NFL, I wouldn't say that that's a common thing. Sometimes you can join up with a quarterback after being traded or going to a new team, whether it's the draft or whatever, and it not go so smooth. And so I wouldn't try to trade that for anything because I know what can be on the other side of that, So, yeah, I would say it's very important.
Well, Chargers running back Melvin Gordon expected to test the free agent market. This according to ESPN. Gordon coming off the fewest rushing yards of his career after his extended holdout to begin the season. If Gordon walks, look for Austin Eckler to take over the #1 running back position for the Chargers. And like Gordon, Eagles left tackle Jason Peters could be finding a new home in 2020. The Eagles letting the 9-time Pro Bowler hit the free agent market. According to NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, the team will remain in contact with Peters through the process. Peters has stayed 11 years or played 11 years in Philadelphia. Of course, Andre Diller would be next in line to be his successor, Kim. But one thing that is interesting that you forget is that Peters was an undrafted free agent tight end.
Yes.
With Buffalo to start his career, and it ended up being very, very productive.
A remarkable career. It has been, and perhaps we hope continues to be for Peters. Will, thank you so much.
Yep.
We will hear from you again.
Absolutely.
And all next week, we are replaying every episode of the NFL 100 all-time team. It's the 100 greatest players and 10 greatest coaches in the history of the league. And Rich Eisen, Bill Belichick, and Chris Collinsworth are joined by some of the legends who made the list. NFL 100 all-time team next week only on NFL Network, and I promise you don't want to miss that. It is absolutely terrific. And if you don't know, I'm alone in the studio right now because Kyle and Nate are ready to catch the Express. They're headed outside. These two hitting the streets to take on the toughest NFL topics. Rapid fire when we come back.
You're not going to drive without insurance. That's his craziest start. A skunk farm in your backyard.
Easy, Petunia. Back up. Sea breeze. I gotta call the general.
Thinking of driving without insurance? Don't delay because you've missed a few payments. From your home
and on your phone.
The General has affordable rates even with less than perfect credit.
Just got insurance. It's from the General. Smell you later.
Ain't no rate you can get online. Go to the General and save some time.
Paul, I am loving all new camera system on iPhone 11.
And I love how it's Sprint.
You can get the amazing iPhone 11 for $0 a month. When you trade in your iPhone 6s or
Newark.
In any condition.
Seriously. In any condition.
This right here is the new Papadilla, which if I'm not mistaken